Bendiciones, everybody. Alafia. Let's talk about it. African spirituality. These various traditions that we go into. They're a way of life. Whether that be voodoo, whether that be isheshe, whether that be santaria, whether that be palo. This is a way of life. Whether that be hoodoo, that is a way of life. This is not stuff that you just pick up and put it back down like however you want to do it. This is a way of life. It's a lifestyle. This is not a fad. This is not like a new song that came out that can get played out on the radio. This is not like, a trend that you could just follow on TikTok. This is a way of life. And when you get into certain traditions, you're tied in that way of life in many ways, where once you go in, you're in it. It's a lifestyle, and so you gotta wake up and breathe it every day. And this is something I really learned from my abuela. Something I really learned from my abuela. This is a way of life. You cannot separate it from every day. It is your essence. These spiritual practices are your essence. It's what you breathe. I like to really drive this home for people who want to start to walk in these ways, because I want them to realize that it's serious. This is not just, for instance, some people, they come to me because they want certain things done from different traditions, and I know the people to walk them to, but why? How do I know you're serious? How do I know that you are actually going to be about this life? Because if you're not going to be about this life, just don't touch it at all. Just don't touch it at all. Stay doing whatever you were doing, because this is a lifestyle. Voodoo is not something that you do, it's something that you live. Ifa is not something that you do, it's something that you live. These are traditions that you live every day. People often wonder little insights into my day or how my life goes on a regular basis, right? And that varies from day to day. But just know, from the moment my eyes wake up, from the moment my eyes can see, from being in a slumber, the first thing that I'm doing is holding my head and praying to Ori. See, that's a lifestyle. That's a lifestyle. The first thing that I'm doing is praying to Ori and thanking Olodumare. This is a lifestyle. And as my day progresses, other aspects of lifestyle start to set in. For instance, how deep you go, right? I go deep enough to the point of offering services to others. So, after I get up and I go through can't say my morning routine, but just the first few things that you do when you wake up in the morning, You brush your teeth, things like that. Well, after that point, I'm communing with spirit because I likely have a client that morning. I generally have readings like every day. So for those who always ask, I'm always booked, but I'm always booking. So I will always be able to get you in on a schedule. If that makes sense. I always have people, but I'm always booking new people, and I will fit you into a schedule in the appropriate time. So those who need readings, you already know the link is in the description. Hit the link, book the reading, we'll set the date. You know what I'm saying? That's how I get down. So with that being said, I usually have somebody in the morning, do the reading. After that, depending on what day it is, I might serve one of my Orisha and take care of them, because I basically go to them every 4 days. Like I said, it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle, you know. Um, so at times, as both Eshu and Orumila, but then there's times I'm just going to Eshu. Then there's days I'm praising Ori. I'm appeasing Ori. And those are just my personal things, because anybody who's gotten work from me knows as of now, I don't offer Ifa work to people. Ifa is personal to me. That's a contract that I have with the feminine side of my ancestry that I have to fulfill. So that's what that is. But yeah, so usually then I'll go do that. And then during the course of the day, I have voodoo work for people, because voodoo is what I offer. Puerto Rican voodoo is what I offer. Sansa is what I offer to people. That's what I share with y'all. That's the gift that I share with y'all that was given to me from Abuela. So whatever type of stuff it is, I usually have work to do with that. Whether that's doing a road opening for somebody with Ogu, Farai, or whatever the case is, right? So there's those workings, and then I got obligations with other spirits in Sanse that I deal with, So like that's taking up my day. And then I got the things that I do for you guys, my mentees that I have in my Patreon, and the mentorship that I'm uploading content for them, making content for them to guide their journey so that they can be the master magicians that they were meant to be and continue to prosper. Then I may be putting out content for YouTube, for the masses to catch some information. Not as deep as the mentorship, but enough for y'all to guide yourself as well. And that's like kind of a little gist of what a day with King Brujo could look like. And then in the interim of that, there's other aspects of spirituality that I do on a regular day. Like on this day, I might link up with some Babas in the area. You know what I'm saying? And we may do some things, or maybe I need to buy more supplies for the works that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother thing in itself. It's things like that that go on. Maybe I have to go make Ebo with one of my Baba friends, and that can take up whatever in it. So like, there's so much stuff that I do in a day that revolves around the lifestyle of being in tradition. This is a lifestyle. You live this. You know? Now, granted, everybody's not going to have as much responsibilities as King Brujo because everybody doesn't have clients and this and this and this, but it's still a lifestyle for them too. You know? It's still a lifestyle for them too. And that's the thing that people have to realize about these traditions. Let's say you walk deep into Ifa, you done got Isefa done, you got your hand, you know your Odu. Now you living in according to Odu. That's a lifestyle. See? That's a lifestyle. That's not stuff you turn on and off. You working with voodoo spirits. Ain't no just you just working with them and walk off. No, it's lifestyle stuff that go with that. You know, this is the reality of life. This is the reality of things. All of this is a lifestyle. Orisha lifestyle. Voodoo lifestyle. Palo lifestyle. These people live a lifestyle of this. They don't turn this on and off. You know what I'm saying? It's like an athlete. Does an athlete really turn off? Because a professional athlete, they have to keep their body up. They have to keep themselves in shape. They have to eat right so that they can continue performing well in that sport. It's a lifestyle. They can't just turn that off. No, that's a lifestyle. Being an athlete is a lifestyle. And that's how it is with these traditions, man. These traditions are a lifestyle. You can't just be Ifa on Sunday because that's the day where you can go before the church and clear your sin. No. Every day you live in that. What you mean? Sunday? No. If you forget Orumila for 2 days, Orumila will forget you for 2 weeks. Think it's a game. If you forget Orumila for 2 days, Orumila will forget you for 2 weeks. It's true. And you know what that means is if you forget Ifa, meaning Ifa is not on your mind in accordance to how you're living, in accordance to how you're dealing with people, in accordance to how you're handling situation, well, you will get away from your essence and then you will notice life going in a certain way that's not your favor. This is true. And that's why they will say, oh, if you forget Ifa for 2 days, Ifa will forget you for 2 weeks. It's true. Trust me. I've told stories in my mentorship about things like that. Not dealing with Ifa, but dealing with other spirits. In voodoo. But it applies. It applies. The principles that come with these traditions should always be on your mind. The principles that come with these traditions should always be at the forefront. Iwa Puele should always be at the forefront if you an Ifa balanced character. All of these principles, man, are so important when you're in these various traditions. This is not something where you just pick up book, put down book. No. This is an active traditions lifestyle. Something you live. It's connected to the blood itself. This is ancestral. You cannot separate from your ancestors. They live in every fiber of your DNA. If you spit inside of a tube and they go analyze it, they will see your ancestors there. That's how they can tell you are or you are not the father. Because they can see your ancestry in your spit. You can't even spit without your ancestors being a part of it. Huh? So imagine you going into traditions that's attached to those same ancestors. How can you separate from that? Or you cannot. You're one and the same. It goes together. You cannot separate that. Egungun is that which lives in your bone marrow. You can't separate from it. It's always a part of you. When you come into these traditions, it is a lifestyle. You don't deviate from your traditions. Even if you practice more than one, you find ways for them to coexist together because it's still a part of you. That's why I always tell people, man, when they come into spirituality, try to stay on course with your tradition, with your ancestry, with your ancestors did. So when I come on here and I talk about Puerto Rican sunset, I talk about Puerto Rican voodoo, that's because why? I grew up in the house with my abuela who was in the tradition. And then when I go and I talk about Orisha tradition and I talk about Isheshe, Ifa, and things like that. Why? Because my mother's father, his mother was a priestess in Lukumi, which is a Orisha tradition when it came into Puerto Rico and in Cuba. You know? So that's part of my lineage. That's why. See, so you can make two things. It's common, especially in the Latin islands, to work two traditions. More commonly so to see palo being worked with a person that works Santeria and then a person that works palo. A person work ocha and they work palo. That's more common to see that, you know. But it's real common to see, you know, people cross practicing in that way. And they respectfully practice the traditions, and those traditions have a place in their life. But it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. Because why? It's connected to the blood. That person can't separate palo from their blood. They can't separate ocha from their blood. That's their blood. You know? So that's how important this is, yo. Every day is things that I do that you never hear about on the internet. Every day I'm learning new verses in Ifa, new pataki, new aspects of Odus, this, new things in Yoruba that I'm learning. Every day you never stop learning. Y'all know Babas that are 65, 70 years old. They still learning. They never stop learning. It's a lifestyle. So with that being said, family, understand that when you come into these traditions, be prepared for this to be a lifestyle. Understand that it is a lifestyle. And walk in them with humility. These are not things that you just pick up and put them down. I'm dark for a second. And now I'm a regular person. You're doing this because why? You see it on TV. You think it's cool. You see it on internet. You see it go viral. That's not what this is. Take this shit serious. And be dedicated. And you will go far. So with that being said, family, y'all stay blessed. Or dabo.